Hi, this is Ken Hayashi with Samurai Wizard Productions, and I'm super excited because I get to work with one of the best directors that I've met, Activator Royal, which is he's the director over at Mark Keppel High School, fantastic choreographer, dance choreographer, and director of an all-male 2017 National Award-winning dance team, all-male, and as well as all-female for 2018 military hip hop and state kick champions. Uh, the other two are national. So I'm going to be designing the show for next year, 2019 for Miss Dance Drill Team USA. I worked and did a couple of shows for Miss Dance Drill Team USA for the daughter of the founder, Jan Crawford. At the end of the video, go ahead and check that video out. In 1991 and 1992, check those videos out. Made a big impact in the dance world, show production world. That was a long time ago, but I'm super excited because I get to do it again. So anyways, I had a first concept in mind. Me and Mr. Royal kind of hashed it out and figured out what we can and cannot do. So if you haven't seen that, check out that video out as well. But on this one, we kind of refined some things. This is just the current concepts to begin with. Please excuse the roughness of the rough draft. Therefore, it's a rough draft. But here we go. All right, check this out. Bye.
Okay, so let's take a look. Again, this is Ken Hayashi with Samurai Wizard Productions. This is the concept of the Haunted Mansion, Disney's Haunted Mansion. The concept is going to go with the set design here. That's probably going to be the backdrop, and we're going to stay true to Disneyland's Haunted Mansion. So when you look at it, it's pretty much not going to be an abstract version of the Haunted Mansion. It's basically look just like this, and it won't be three-dimensional for the reason for it to be able to be transported very quickly and set up very quickly. This would be painted here onto a canvas, but it's going to have some be able to do a quick changes and stuff like that, which I'll explain in a minute. So as it starts, and excuse the crudity of my drawings, or actually the fantastic drawing abilities I have. As you can see, a family walks in, and then a people mover comes over here like that, and you can see my advanced level of skill when it comes to art. I'm a artist by heart. So just keep that in mind. So that's the father, that's a mother, and a little child. And these are actors. So they're looking at the haunted mansion. They're out there. That's how it starts. People mover comes in. They hop into the people mover, and it continues going over here. We're gonna have some rough blueprint designs here. These have not been transferred over to any kind of schematics yet, but this is just a rough design, so I can speak with all the departments, including stage tech, the fashion, and the art department. Okay, as well as obviously the dancers, dance department. So here, this is the curtain pullers in the back, which allows here to do the iconic scene where it goes no windows and no doors. That's the very beginning part of the ride. It has a little scaffolding right here. This is the solid part, and the front, as you can see here, is just going to be canvas, so that when they pull the curtain, you can see the characters, that there could be three characters on top and three people at the bottom as well. And that's the example with that. So what does it look like? Well, what it's going to look like, it's going to start off with that, and then as it starts off, the curtain rises, or rises, and you see the three characters on this side and three characters on this side. The one in the middle could be the door that people are kind of the doors pushing back and forth, or another iconic character in the haunted mansion. These are the ones I selected that we see when you go through the ride. And then the next part is that it when the curtain drops down, or it could go up. When it drops down, you can see right here where it says no doors and no windows. Ha 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 ha. And does all that stuff right here. So you can see the character. This is gonna be a little puppet right there. And then these two iconic characters as well, where they turn and they shoot each other, right? So that's what we see inside of Disney's Haunted Mansion. Okay, so a little bit of costume design is also going to be included with that, so we can speak with all departments at one time. If you have any questions, the PowerPoint will be available to myself, Ken Hayashi, as well as to Activate Arroyo, the director of the show. So I'm working on the concept designs here. So the Medusa, we could have different characters. These would be played by anybody at Mark Apple that wants to be, own it would be great. So we got different types of versions of Medusa that could be definitely done. The Catwoman over there, which you see when you first go into the Haunted Mansion. Uh, and every time I reference the Haunted Mansion, we're talking about Disneyland, okay? So when we go into Haunted Mansion, there's like a panther right there that you can see turns into from a panther to a woman. I can actually train somebody how to go from a woman to a cat, or a panther to a cat. I've done it before. However, it may be a little too early in the show. It's a 6-minute show for us to do that, but I can train somebody to do that. Okay, it goes from a woman to a cat or back. Okay, and these are will be all again the characters. So then we can have these doors that come out, okay, on rollers. The doors are going to come out on rollers in front of the mansion, and they'll just simply just swing by like that. And as soon as they swing by, there'll be a couple in the middle. Introduces the couple. Uh, and then at the same time, if we want, we can also have these doors also having that face coming out. And if you don't know what I'm referencing here, if you ever saw Nightmare on Elm Street from the 1990s or 80s when that movie came out, very spooky thing where it looks like Freddy Krueger's coming out of the wall or something along this line here. That's the iconic Haunted Mansion thing, but it's going to have a twist to it. It's not just going to come out like that. It's going to have a face on there. So if we go through the back here, what it's originally going to look like, it's going to have these doors that are going to have these faces and hands coming out. But even after they cross like that and a couple shows up, this is a magic trick where they appear in the middle of the stage, in the middle of a basketball court. When that happens, they will on the side continue to have faces on there. Could be done without the faces as well. So it's a kind of a cool illusion. Then we'll continue on with the couple, right? So they're the dead couple. You can go into the corpse bride kind of concept with that type of makeup. Uh, let's get that guy. Okay, with that type of makeup, corpse bride type of makeup with dead flowers, which would be easier, or if we want to keep it more traditional, more like the Haunted Mansion of the Disney, we can definitely do that. So instead of the corpse bride version, we just keep it just a regular tuxedo like that. It's just gonna be variances of the makeup anyway, so that's fine. So they're out there, they're doing their ballroom dancing routine, and the women are doing their ballroom dancing routine like that. And we were thinking if we have the option, and I mean Mr. Royal and myself, we were thinking that it would be great if we could have some candlesticks, elaborate candlesticks that are lit, and of course they're lighting, not actually on fire. And the women, the girls are holding the candlesticks. So while they're dancing, the girls are holding the candlesticks. I think it would put a very nice effect of how it looks as they're dancing. They have candlesticks. And even if we can't do that, then we can just go with some dead flowers, which is fine as well. Just dead flowers. Okay, dead flowers. All right. So moving on. So then the scene changes, and in the middle of the haunted mansion backdrop, it actually opens up right here, and it's a screen that opens up and a projector's back here. I'm going to explain that in a second, but that's going to open up, and then these right here, the curtain opens up on the side, and there's a scene change. So we've got levels up here, where there's 3 or more, the merrier would be great, where they're up there and they're singing. Now it could be done in a couple different ways. They could be. Here's what it looks like if you want to know what it looks like. So they look like head statues that are either lip singing to the music, so they're actors at Mark Keppel High School, or I actually know of pretty darn good singing group Let's see now. They actually performed at the 29th annual high school choir festival at the Disney Concert Hall, along with 900 other students there. They sang all various types of music, wonderful music. If you ever check this out on Vimeo, it's on there. But listen to this. And if I just for a moment, just pause that, just for a moment there. Um, Wait a minute. Wait, is that Mark Apple High School? Oh, there's members of the. It is. It's the Aztec Singers. Wow, they're up there singing. So they're definitely qualified to do this. It may be, we have to ask about their schedule. They are going to be doing competitions, but this is them singing at the Disney Concert Hall 2018. Phenomenal group. Watch that performance right there with 900 performers up there just singing their hearts out. Classical, this type of singing. Wonderful. So we can have them up there in makeup singing, or if we cannot get the Aztec singers up there singing, or the choir team, then we're gonna have to obviously get some actors to lip sing along with the music. But it would be really great if they're up there and they're actually singing. The music kind of goes down, and then you could actually hear them sing, which would be fantastic. I'm thinking that. So it's right now designed off of just the fact that uh, it's gonna be. Let me switch that over there. Sorry about that. Okay, all right. We're gonna that it's just three on top and three at the bottom. So it's six on one side, six on the other, 12. But it could have as many people up there. The more the merrier. It could have 10 people on top, 10 people at the bottom, like 40 people up there if we want. And it's a very simple costume right here. White makeup, very white, and we've got some black lighting right here to illuminate their faces. They just look like their just heads without bodies there, and they were just wearing some black at the bottom, and their face would just completely be illuminated. It'll be cool. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. All right, now let's move. Oh, and this is the projector right here. So the middle portion of the set here, what happens with that is it drops down with a curtain puller on both sides, and it lifts up. Or, I'm sorry, it lifts up, and there's a projector from the back, uh, uh, covered right here with some black, so that when it projects, you can see whatever image or movie that's playing right here. Those of you that saw last 2018's performance of it was the not Twilight Zone, but Twin Peaks performance, there was the projector that was being played, the movies that were being played to emphasize the dance performance, which I thought was fantastic. Do the same thing with the projector right here, and then we can put up any kind of video or images up here to complement the dancers. Down here, for more of a technical point of view right here, people will be able to come out through here. They're just slits, and there people will be able to come out. Dancers will be able to come out through these doors as well. Okay, and you can't see what's going on behind them. Okay, allows people to do costume changes back here as well. All right, let's move on. Okay, so then along with the crystal ball, right? And if you're familiar with the ride, it says, and the bell rings, kind of one of those things. As that happens, Mr. Royal is going, hey, let's throw out some gypsies or fortune tellers, fortune tellers, and it'll go along the way perfectly. They're out there either with a crystal ball, really large crystal balls, and then I can have these two right here. These are 8 feet wide tables that are on rollers that could roll out, and a headless crystal ball in the middle with a girl in makeup, illuminated, and at the bottom you may not even be able to see them, which will be cool. So it's just a headless a head in there talking, and then some dancers that are dancing on top of the table like that, and on the side as well. So right here I put in 10 people. It could be a lot more, up to you. Then we were thinking one of the girls comes out wearing a red cloak, and there's a reason for that. A red cloak. They come out wearing a red cloak, and then they basically vanish. How am I going to do that? I'll explain that in a second. So I've done this before. Kind of the costumes. Well, let's go back with the fortune tellers, makeup designs here. Uh, you, this is when people are looking into the crystal ball, right? Wizardry or magic stuff like that. So it's spookiness, right? So kind of ideas on that. Now, the girl that disappears. If you saw my last video, or I'll show it to you right now. I've done this before. Girl comes in a red cloak. This was obviously a long time ago, probably like 25 plus years ago, back in 1992 at Alhambra High School. Girl comes, attacks me. Some crazy drill team girl comes, attacks me. Kim Lim, Rams cheerleader girl. Anyway, she comes, attacks me with a sword. Of course, the thing I have to do is just cut her with the sword, and then she disappears in the middle of the stage. In fact, let's just take a look at that now, so I don't have to explain it. Here it is. This is what it looks like. She comes and attacks me. As soon as she comes and attacks me, right, you can see her right there. There she is, moving around like that, and then she comes out. Oh, is it going? All right, so that's where they come, and we can do a disappearance, so it throws in a little bit of magic in there as well. So let's continue on. All right, so okay, excuse me. Okay, boom, 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 disappears. All right, then music changes. So every time there's gonna be some changes on here, music changes. Up on the screen, we hear 7 days, right? Okay, reference to The Ring. Now here we could have the girl just walk out, or we can do the previous trick where there are the doors. Instead of the couple showing up that way, the doors just cross and a girl just appears in the middle. That could be done too, but since we just did a disappearance, it may be too much back-to-back magic. Up to you. Any one of these illusions could be taken, put in or taken out. So a girl could just come right through the doors right here and just start walking front with a really large axe, just dragging the axe on the floor, and it having a little disturbing feel to that. Why? I don't know. We just wanted to make it a little disturbing. Does it have to be fully haunted mansion? Does it? I don't know. All right, so let's go with that. And then girls come out. This is the female team doing their dance routine. And if you are familiar with 2018's WCE Nationals performance, they did a lot of the soloists. If you're familiar with that competition, a lot of the soloists were doing a very like a contortion type of routines, and they were the ones that were placing on the top. 5, 10. So it would be that type of performance. They can all have axes, or one could have an axe, and they're all doing that thing. Either way, it's just about the props. So that's on that one. Okay, girl with the axe. Okay, or something a little bit more disturbing. I don't know. The bigger the axe would probably be better, rather than focusing so much on the face and the makeup, because the hair will have to come. They can dance like this the whole time, but at times if their hair flips up, they should have some kind of a face. That's what I'm thinking. So just that they're cognitive that they should put some form of makeup on. All right. All right. So then the show's over. Feels like the show's over. The family comes back out. Just like what we had at the very beginning, the people mover. The family comes back out, back inside of their little people mover. They're being rolled out. Okay. And they're in there. But nope, the ride's not over yet. There's a part where it says about the hitchhikers, as we're familiar with the ride itself, the hitchhikers show up, and this is where all male comes involved again. So the all male could have 35 of them all do the ballroom dancing, and when they come, they do a costume change, and they come back out, and they are now 35 hitchhikers, or we could just split them up, having 16 of them do the ballroom dancing, and then have the rest of them do the hitchhikers, which would leave to less complexity in backstage, was what I'm thinking about, because even when they're doing the ballroom, it is 16 of them are going to be doing the ballroom with 16 other of the females, the girls doing there. So it's actually still 30 something up there. So it's 32 people up there. So something to think about on that. All right. They're doing their all male dance performance while the family's up here frightened, here scary. They're just sitting, they're just being wheeled around there while everyone all males doing their performance. Pretty hardcore. And then at that point, the haunted mansion in the background actually has a uh, hat hat doc ghost come out. Hatbox ghost come out. That tall in proportion. So let's take a look. Here's how it is. It's about 14 feet tall, and basically a 14 feet or 16 feet tall Hatbox ghost comes out of the center of the mansion. How's that? How's that even? Okay, we'll talk about how's that possible. Okay, then the finale happens. Everyone comes out in their own respective way. They come out from the side. The curtain girls is up here. The singers, the choirs, people are up there. Any of the characters that did not do any kind of costume changes are there. All the characters start coming out. The girl that disappeared, the girl with the axe, the ballroom dancers, obviously the all male hitchhikers, ghost hitchhikers come out, right? The fortune tellers are out there, and they're doing one last performance. Doing all that stuff, and then there's this huge, I mean, it's triple the height of a human being up there. And how's that possible? Well, this is with puppeteer. If you could see all that, how that's possible. We've got 3 puppeteers. It's basically, this is the paper mache stuff. I'm working with going to be working with the tech and the fashion art department right there to be able to construct these huge heads. Right here is going to have just a box or something that I guess they're trying to collect. It's the iconic uh, haunted mansion ghost that comes out at the end. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, so these are the themes in music. Disney Haunted Mansion, visual and comedy. We got some the family at Disneyland, no windows and no doors, painting ghosts. Okay, partnering dance. That's the ballroom section where there's some partnering work. Crystal ball and fortune tellers. That's where the girls get to show off any kind of belly dancing, that type of cool dancing stuff, which would be really cool. Um, then there's singing heads. That's the part where it's the comedy as well as, or they're actually singing, which would be a new level to a Miss Dance Drill Team USA that people haven't seen people actually singing at these MDT USA. So something to think about. Then there's magic. I was throwing in magic. Dead Red Riding Hood, creepy girl doing their dance, the ring, hitchhikers. That's where all male, and then puppet and puppetry and the finale. So that's kind of how it breaks down. And this is the cast. This is an estimation. The family. They could be actors. Painting goes. So none of these need to be actually dancers. That's how many people that's going to be involved. Ballroom partnering. That's the estimate at if there's 32 female dancers, half of them do the ballroom, the other half do with the guys, so 16. Crystal ball and fortune tellers, 12 statues, crystal ball heads. Those are the headless ones, and then the girls, fortune teller girls, could be 10 of those. Again, on the girls team, and then one Red Riding Hood. Okay, the ring. 16 become the girls, contortion girls, so that's 32. Uh, Hitchhikers, those are the all male, being the rest of the all males. So if there's 16 doing ballroom, then 19 of them could do the hitchhikers. Stagehands, this is what's required. The people mover, someone's going to have to move those people mover. Curtain operators, I need 4 of them, 2 on each side. The door illusion, that's where the doors pass to by each other and something appears, and then puppeteers for the Hatbox Ghost, and then 6 parents to help me set this up. Okay, that's what it is. Any questions on that stuff? Oh, that's okay. Any questions on that stuff? Please let me know. Always open to some input for sure. Please open to some input for sure. And then also, if you haven't seen this already, I'm sure most of you have. Let me go take a look at this right here. Hold on. Okay, so the couple things, if you haven't done so already, just for some research, you could take a look at this. This is a couple of the Miss Dance Drill Team USA productions that I worked on. This is a fantastic one right here. 1991. I did the set design and illusions. Great show. This one had about 120 dancers in this one as well. They had their football team. They didn't have a dance team. Um, cool tricks that they did. And check that one out. I actually made Tarzan and Jane appear and disappear on that one, as well as the set design. Commanding Japanese Army, I'm sure most of you have already seen this already. It's one of the most iconic shows out there. 180 dancers, Miss Dance Drill Team USA, 1992. If you haven't done that so already, go ahead and check those out. Also, Samurai Wizard Productions. That's just a uh, little blurb about some of the productions I've done in the past. If you have any questions, it shows on there. Emmy Awards, stuff like that. You can check those out on here. And that's actually me interviewing Miss Jan Crawford, the #1 show producer in the world, and also my other buddy who's choreographer, dancer, director, producer, toured with Michael Jackson when we were going to high school. He was on Remember at the time, and then soon after high school, went to tour Michael Jackson with Michael Jackson on I think the Dangerous tour. That's what he did. So that's doing the interview. So that's a little bit of background on that stuff. Love to hear your input. The input. Go ahead and send it to either ken@kenhayashi.com or yeah, just send it there. Okay. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.